on to step number 2. Before we lock down any details, we need to figure out a budget, right? The budget is important because you don't want to just reach out to people and like start bargaining with people, right? It kind of makes your event look kind of skeptical. So with our budget, we got to figure out how much money we could pay all these different people. So let's start with the essentials. Our cash prize is $100. Second thing is our venue. A venue is gonna vary in price. Sometimes you could get your school to let you do it for free, but a lot of times it's gonna cost you some kind of money. So let's just say the venue is charging you $50 an hour, 8 hours, that's gonna be $400. The next big cost is gonna be with our judges. And this is kind of hard. Like honestly, judges deserve to get paid more than they actually do. A lot of people will pay their judges about 50 bucks, but honestly, they should get paid at least 100 bucks. So if you can, try to pay your judges at least 100 bucks each. Again, it's a job. They're gonna be there for, 5+ hours, and getting 50 bucks literally means they're getting, 10 bucks an hour. Again, 100 bucks, it's not a lot, but it's at least something for their time. The next big cost is gonna be our DJ, right? The DJ is providing our sound system, and unless you got a good friend that's gonna hook it up, you're gonna have to pay a good amount for your DJ. And I have to say, most DJs that are bringing equipment in are gonna charge you at least 500 bucks, if not double that, right? So let's just say our budget right now is 500 bucks for that DJ, but do anticipate that you might pay more. And our next cost is gonna be the MC. Same thing, I would pay the MC just as much as you would pay the judges, so 100 bucks. So now we're at $1,400. $100 for the prize, $400 for our venue, $300 for our judges, $100 for our host, and another $500 for our DJ. Lastly, we have 2 additional costs. One is gonna be event insurance. A lot of venues are gonna require you to get event insurance. You can get it through the venue a lot of times, but sometimes you gotta go through an outside source. In my experience, that has always been 100 to 200 bucks. It's nothing super crazy. So for now, let's add 100 bucks since it's a small event, and we're gonna add an additional $200 for miscellaneous expenses. This could be for pens and papers for the judges. This could be for flyers. This could be for random advertising costs. Some venues also will require security, so you could kind of include that in the cost too. So now it brings our total cost to $1,700, which is our break-even point, right? Meaning when we get to $1,700, we make nothing. Right, we broke even. So once we have our rough budget created, we can kind of figure out how much do we need to charge. So we said our break-even point is $1,700, and we need to divide that by, let's say we charge 10 bucks each, right? That means we need at least 170 people to go to our event to just break even. Again, this is just a summary because we don't know if that's actually gonna be the official budget, but roughly to break even, we need to make that much money. One thing that you guys could do as a marketing tactic is actually have a pre-sale price, which could be like $6, $7, and go ahead and sell tickets. There's a lot of websites you can do this online to have people buy these tickets, and usually when people buy a ticket and they're committed to this event, they're really gonna help you kind of build a buzz around your event. They're gonna be telling their friends, they're gonna be, getting people involved. So having those pre-sale tickets is really gonna also help you in the long run as far as marketing. So after we have completed our basic outline, our budget, then we can start knocking out details. And we have to always start with the most important one, which is the venue. Right? Because if you don't have a venue, you don't have an event, right? Go ahead and reach out to as many venues you can, see what the costs are, weigh them out. Sometimes if you go to a school and you're throwing it through your school, they'll let you do it for free or for really cheap. So just weigh out the cost, find something that is gonna work good for you and also the venue. One thing that used to happen to me a lot when I used to throw events, which was actually really unfortunate, is that the second I said that I'm throwing a hip hop event, people would say, not here. And it's actually kind of sad because in my perspective, hip hop is a very positive thing. It definitely helps a lot of people and has helped a lot of people. And for them to say like, nah, hip hop is bad, it was kind of offensive to me. So what actually helped me a lot is I would say I'm throwing a cultural event at their venue, which how could they say no to culture? And after they see the positivity, they feel the positivity at the event, it kind of changes their perception. And then you're like, yo, that was hip hop. This is a hip hop event, right? And slowly, one by one, you change people's perception. right? So again, don't get offended by what people say. Just keep it moving and, you know, see what you can do. Once you have the venue locked in, once you have the date, the times, all that stuff, then you are ready to lock in everybody else, the host, the DJ, the judges, all these things. Just kind of get them knocked out one by one. Now, before we move on to the next step, I want to talk about fundraising, right? There's two really easy ways that you guys can do to help raise funds for this event or earn funds at the event. One is with sponsors, and two is with food. What you guys could do is set a fairly affordable price, right? At big events, people charge a lot of money for people to vend at. A lot of times vendors are there because at the same time they're selling their merch, they're also marketing their apparel for just being at that event. Unfortunately, this is our first event, right? We gotta be humble, so don't charge too much. I would say, like, honestly, if you just wanna get people there, charge each vendor 25 bucks to vend there. A lot of times vendors will be at an event and they don't sell anything, right? So they just came out of pocket, and then next time they don't wanna go to your event, right? So keep it a price that's affordable for them, that's not gonna, you know, that's something pretty easy. And say you get 4 vendors, that contributes directly to your prize money, right? And it helps take down some of the costs in your budget, okay? For food, it's a little bit tricky. As much as I would love to go in the kitchen and make a terrific meal for everybody, you have to have licenses to do these things. A lot of times to sell something, it has to be non-perishable things like chips, things in a wrapper, right? Bottled drinks, you know, that's what you could sell. So if you want to make some extra cash, definitely have some water for sale, Gatorade, some snacks, granola bars, chips, whatever you think people are gonna buy at your event. One of the things I've been seeing that I highly support is reaching out to food vendors, food trucks, getting people that, you know, they have the license, they're legally able to sell, and they're gonna sell good food. I don't know how many events I've been to where I was just starving, right? And the only way to get food is that I had to drive somewhere and come back, and in that sense, I'd miss out on the event. Or someone would have to go and, you know, make a run. So have food available at your event. It's so necessary, especially if someone's there for like, you know, 5-6 hours. It's really not healthy to go that long, be doing physical activities and not eat anything, okay? So make sure you guys have food available at your event, or else you're gonna have a ton of grumpy people.